your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 33 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you. We welcome your phone calls on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products or business or health challenges you or a loved one may be dealing with, if you have a success story you'd like to share, if you want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010. We'll get your calls in our second segment. We're going to talk to Dr. Taylor Mitchell at the bottom of the hour. She is a naturopath and an expert in detox, and we're going to talk about detoxification and the longevity products and detoxification. We'll do that at the bottom of the hour. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase longevity products, head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And if you want to purchase our Truth Skin Health products, go to truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. I'm going to be talking a lot about the skin in the coming days. I have been studying the skin for a long time. I've been studying skincare products for a long time. I've been studying skincare chemistry for a long time and biochemistry of the skin for a long time. The skin is a incredible organ and system. I sometimes wonder what the average person thinks of when they see their skin. We're so disconnected from our bodies, from our livers and our intestines and our spleens and the inside of our bodies. We have no idea what's going on inside of our bodies. And that's kind of understandable because it's the inside of our bodies. We don't really see the inside of our bodies. But we see our skin all the time, and we are completely oblivious to the fact that the skin is an organ, even though we say the skin is the body's largest organ all the time. It's a meme, it's a slogan, it's jargon. The skin is the body's largest organ. The skin is the body's largest organ. Everybody knows that. 10% of the body, by the way, is skin. Of the mass of the body is your skin. That's a lot. That's a serious organ. That's a bunch of your body is skin. 10%. And we don't even think about this thing. We got 10% of our body as an organ sitting on the outside of the body, and we're oblivious to this. And it blows me away, and I know it's probably, I can see we don't think about it. I've been studying it for decades, but we don't really think about it. I'm reading about the skin exposome, and by the way, I'm doing these moments of truth. If you guys want to get a moment of truth every day, a little tip, a little health tip, or a little idea that I have, I'm sending them out. Probably by email. I'm going to do either email or text. I'm not sure which is going to be more convenient. But send an email to support@truthtreatments or robin@truthtreatments.com. Support@truthtreatments.com or robin@truthtreatments.com if you want to be included when we figure out how to do this, whether email or text message. Anyway, so I did one today on the skin exposome. There's something called the exposome. The exposome is the totality of stressors that the skin is subject to on a regular basis. And we don't ever think about these things. Air pollution is a part of the exposome. Cigarette smoke is part of the exposome. The sun is part of the exposome. Fluoride and chlorine in water is part of the exposome. Preservatives and sunscreens and fragrances and skincare products, part of the exposome. The skin is even temperature changes can be part, and lack of sleep and nutritional deficiencies can be part of the exposome. Sugar can be part of the exposome. The exposome, all of the things that the skin has to deal with. This is why I created Truth Treatments. I saw this and I was like, why are we abusing the skin with all of these things, these preservatives and fragrances and surfactants and emulsifying agents? And because we don't see the skin as an organ of the body. The skin is an organ of the body in the sense that it is dynamic, it's growing, it's moving, it's functional. Think of all the things you think of with an organ. The coating on the surface deceives us, but if you ever burn yourself, you see the organ-like nature of the skin. It doesn't look so good. Nobody wants to see a wound. Nobody wants to see a burn because nobody wants to see organs. We don't see organs when we see the skin because it's got that covering. That covering allows us to be oblivious or leads us to obliviousness in how we treat our skin. Rubbing something on your skin should be a serious business. It is not just to flippantly just rub stuff on and not know what's in the ingredient deck. It's craziness, especially some of these products that have 50 ingredients in them and 60 ingredients. It's craziness, people. It really is. If you understand the skin as an organ of the body, you understand that you want to be respectful of it every bit as much as you're respectful of your heart or your liver or your spleen. We have a great respect for the internal organs, but we don't have that same kind of respect for the skin. And so we rub stuff on and don't even think about it. So, we're going to talk a lot about the skin here. The skin is made up of layers. The most important thing about the skin, or one of the most important things about the skin that leads us to becoming oblivious to it, is its layered nature. It's layered, like baklava. You know, baklava, the dessert thing with honey and all these layers. That's how the skin is. It's layered. And all the layers are going from the bottom upwards. The layers are less and less living. Or from the top downwards, they're more and more living. The living stuff is underneath, is what I'm trying to say. The living stuff is underneath. As the skin rises, the skin is moving upwards. The skin is moving upwards. And as it's moving upwards, it's becoming progressively less alive. Skin has three main layers. Got a surface layer, which is like a fingernail. Take your fingernail in your imagination and thin it out really, really thin. And you have that layer of fingernail-like material on the surface of your skin. That's called the barrier. And that barrier is a key player in life. Without that barrier, we would desiccate, we would dry out, we would dehydrate to death. That barrier is extremely functional, that very thin layer of fingernail, extremely functional. And it's constantly being renewed. It's constantly shedding and it's constantly being renewed. It moves. As the skin is moving from the bottom to the top, it's changing shape and becoming this layer, this surface layer. It's so amazing how this happens. That surface layer is the end result of movement upwards. It's the movement upwards of skin is gradually creating a barrier as it's moving upwards. It's an amazing phenomenon. And it happens every split second of every day. The skin is shedding and moving upwards. That's called barrier repair. That's called transit time or turnover time. It takes about 4 to 8 weeks. They call turnover time. It's called turnover transit, but turnover time is about 4 to 8 weeks. And helping that movement go upward, improving that movement, working on that movement, supporting that movement so it's healthy. The movement, it's complex movement. I said movement, it makes it sound like it's just moving. No, it's changing shape. The cells are changing shape and they're doing all kinds of chemistry as it's moving upwards. All kinds of stuff is happening. We're talking here a serious, dynamic, incredibly functional and important organ of the body, and we don't even have the beginnings of a clue at understanding what it is or how to take care of it as a culture. Present company excluded. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back on the bright side, 844-236-6010, right after this. Okay, we are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got Dr. Taylor Mitchell coming up At the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk about detoxification and the skin and longevity products. At the bottom of the hour, we'll get your calls. This segment, 844-236-6010. I was reading in the Journal of Dermatological Science, the skin aging exposome. I've known about the exposome for a while. I never actually called it the exposome. That's kind of new to me, the term exposome. Probably to you too. You don't hear that a lot, exposome. Some, whenever you hear some, or ohm, I should say, whenever you hear ohm at the end of a word, O-M-E, like microbiome or genome, it's referring to the totality of something. The microbiome is the totality of microbes. The genome is the totality of genes. The exposome is the totality of stuff your skin is exposed to. The exposome. Stress, sleep deprivation, temperature, smoking, nutritional deficiencies, particularly fats and sugar. All of these contribute to skin aging via the exposome, the stressors that the skin is, this poor organ called the skin is subject to. We're going to talk a lot about the skin in the coming days. Time to hit the phones, 844-236-6010. Let's go to Japan and say hi to Leah. Hello, Leah. What's going on, Leah? Did I have that right? Leah in Japan.
Hi, Pharmacist Ben. This is Ria from Japan.
Ria from Japan. Hi, Ria. How you doing? What's going on today?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I thought maybe we had a second Japanese person.
No, sorry.
I wonder does anybody in Japan listen to The Bright Side? Aside from you, of course, and your family.
The people I know that I've told about them about you, but yeah.
Anybody out there is listening from Japan, give me a call. I want to know. All right, what's going on? I got a bunch of calls here. I only have a short amount of time.
I have a question about ghee today.
Ghee? I love ghee.
The oil ghee. My mom has a cardiovascular condition, and I had told you she has ulcerative. I can't even.
Ghee is great for her. Ghee is great for her digestive system, for her heart, great for a lot of things. Ghee's great stuff.
But is it not like bad for people with cardiovascular situations? No. Could you clarify that, sort of?
Yes, sugar is the bad guy. No, good fats, quality fats are very, very important for the heart's energy. The heart depends on quality fats for energizing, and ghee in particular has something called butyric acid in it, and butyric acid is super duper important for the circulatory system, but also for the digestive system. So she'll be taking care of two birds with one stone, as they say, Ria in Japan. I'm gonna let you go here, my dear. Do you have something else?
All right.
Anything else?
No, that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, have a great day.
Thank
Good
you.
to hear from you. Thank you.
Too.
Okay, let's go to Mr. Barry in New Orleans. What's going on, Barry?
Yes, good morning. Yes, first of all, thanks for your righteous service. I want to ask you your opinion on organic food. Is it essential?
Oh, yeah. It's you want to go organic. Even organic, though, doesn't, the soil is trashed. It rains preservatives. Food is grown, organic food and inorganic food is grown right next to each other. It's really, it's just tragic what we've done to our food. But at least with organic, you're getting pure food. And when a food doesn't have preservative or fertilizers and pesticides on it, it's a stronger food. Grains that are grown organically tend to be stronger, have more nutrients in them. Nature gives them more nutrients because they don't have the pesticides. Pesticides decrease the nutritional value of the antioxidants and the phytonutrients. There's less phytonutrients and antioxidants and such powerful nutrients in plants when they use pesticides and fertilizers. So you get a better plant, you get a better, more valuable vegetable or fruit or whatever from an organically grown farm or one that's organically grown. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Always go organic. Always, always, always. And some of the foods that they spray pesticides on, like apples in particular and grapes, oh my God, they saturate them. It's terrible. They spray them while they're growing, so they're like in the tissue as the apple's growing. It's in the fruit tissue, the fleshy stuff. You know what I'm saying? As the apple's growing, it's getting sprayed. It's just a terrible thing.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, quickly. I wanted to ask you your opinion on. I think you believe in God and karma and reincarnation. If you can just quickly comment.
My personal beliefs?
Yes.
Well, God, God's such a great word. What the heck does that even mean? a thing? Is everybody, we believe in Michelangelo's God. Most people think of Michelangelo's God pointing from the Sistine Chapel when they think of God. That's like an image, and it's an icon. So what does that really mean? Is there divine intelligence? Yes, clearly. Is it comprehensible? No, clearly. But is it there? Of course it's there. How does this, there's so much intelligence everywhere, so much responsiveness. There's a thing called Gaia. Do you know what Gaia is, Barry? G-A-I-A? Have you heard of that?
Yes, the Earth is living.
Yes, the Earth is living. Not just the Earth, though, Barry. All the components are interactive like organs of a body, or like cells of a body, cells into organs. Gaia is, and this is a scientific hypothesis. This is not me making this, airy-fairy religious theological idea. It's science. So there are metaphors everywhere that you can use to apply to this concept of divine intelligence and connectivity. Of course, how could you deny it? How can anybody deny it? So yes, I believe in that, and I don't believe in and then I also think there's a personal nature to God. I think that's what the whole Christian thinks about, a personal nature, because you can communicate to this thing personally. There's a relationship you can form with this thing, this intelligence. That's the cool thing, is you can form a relationship with this intelligence. You get what I'm saying, Barry?
Yes.
You can relate to it. And by the way, in physics, and I like physics, as you know. We talk about that all the time in this program. There's this thing called charge separation. Have you ever heard of this concept, charge separation?
No.
Charge separation is when one thing becomes two and creates an electrical current between the two parts. So that everything's one, and then there are forces in nature that will separate the one into a positive charge and a negative charge, i.e. male-female, and you get a flow of energy between the two, and that's how life is created at the most fundamental level. And that's in the Bible. You know what I'm talking about? The one becomes two. That's charge separation, is what they call it in physics. There's all these metaphors, is what I'm saying. So it depends on how you look at it. When you say God and reincarnation, all these other things, it depends on how you look at it. If I look at it all like a metaphor. And reincarnation, since you bring it up, if there's no time, how could there be reincarnation? And time is an illusion, right? Do you get me?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, there's a thing in physics called the many worlds hypothesis. Have you heard of that?
No.
In physics, they have this idea that all things that have ever been thought of exist simultaneously. And it's a mathematical proof. I haven't quite figured out how mathematics and physics and philosophy all blend together, but somehow they do. And there's a mathematical proof called the many worlds hypothesis. I think a guy named Hugh Everett, if I'm not mistaken, came up with it. And it's a rigorously defended thesis paper, or, however academia, whatever criteria they use to make sure it's authentic. It's called the many worlds hypothesis. It says everything that's happened already happened. Everything that could happen is happening. And because there's no time, it's all happening simultaneously. So now, how deep down the rabbit hole do you want to go, Perry, is the question. Because you can go pretty deep, and I like going pretty deep down the rabbit hole. All right, I'm Farm. Thanks for your call, Barry. Appreciate it, and apologize if I left you on hold. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're coming back with Dr. Taylor Mitchell. We're going to talk a little detoxification right after this on The Bright Side. Don't go away. Okay, we're back on The Bright Side. Pharmacist Ben here. 844-236-6010 is our number, and actually, now that I think about it, we have a guest. So, never mind. X-nay on that phone number, because we're just going to talk to Dr. Taylor Mitchell, who is a good friend of mine, and also a naturopath, and also a longevity distributor, and she also is a presenter, and she is quite a spectacular woman, I have to say. I've known her for several years. Dr. Taylor Mitchell is going to talk about detoxification. We're going to do some talks in my lab about detoxification somewhere here coming up in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And I said, hey, Dr. Taylor, let's get you on the radio show, and we'll talk a little bit about detox. We'll talk, we were talking about the skin and detox. We can talk some of that, and we'll also talk about the longevity products and detoxification. Please welcome to The Bright Side my good friend, Dr. Taylor Mitchell. Hello, Taylor.
Hello there.
What's going on? Good to talk to you again.
Great to talk to you, always.
So you are, now you said you're not, but I think you are an expert in detoxification. And the reason I say that is because I have your PowerPoint, and I saw your PowerPoint, and I saw you present. And while to you may not sound like you're an expert, maybe to average people who haven't heard any of this stuff, you're quite the expert. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, and things like autotoxication and internal toxins and external toxins and food and water and caffeine and drugs, and there's all these different ways toxicity affects us in our lives, and we don't even think about it. So talk to us a little bit about some of the major ways we tox out our bodies, and not some of the major ways, but some of the hidden ways we tox out our bodies and what we can do about it. Hello. Did we lose Taylor?
Hey, I'm here. So we're exposed to so many toxins daily, like plastics, gasoline, exhaust fumes, lighter fluid, paint, thinner, carpet chemicals, herbicides, insecticides, and it's almost endless. And also, those are the ones that we can't really avoid, and there's ones that we put on ourselves, like cologne, aftershave, hairspray and air fresheners, perfumes, and really we're just constantly, ingesting toxins on a daily basis. And we've been told that our liver and our kidneys are the best way to eliminate toxins. This isn't necessarily the case because not everybody has a liver and kidney functioning at 100%. It's safe to say.
I'd say pretty much the vast majority of people don't have their liver especially. Fatty liver disease affects 1 out of 3 people diagnosed, but it starts to break down much earlier. I was talking about the skin. I don't know if you heard me earlier today talking about the skin as an underappreciated organ. The liver is the same way. Oh my God, all the things the liver does. And liver damage.
There's over 2,000 chemical functions in the liver that we must.
But listen to this. Yeah, that's 2,000 chemical functions. But check this out. Every cell is capable of all of these different functions, if not thousands of different functions. Every cell in a liver cell is an amazing entity, and we don't have anywhere near the respect for the liver that it needs. Prescription drugs. Sometimes I wonder how much prescription drugs affect the liver to the point where health is compromised and even longevity is affected, and it doesn't show up as a side effect. Or it doesn't show up, you don't think about it as a side. Like statin drugs will never say liver toxicity or increased fatty liver disease when you take a statin drug, but it seems like the prescription drugs would have a huge impact on the liver, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Prescription drugs are prescription drugs are one of the hidden causes of our longevity issues, our shortened longevity. 76 years, what is it now, 78 years, I think? What is longevity, 78 years, 80 years? And that's ridiculous. Yeah. We're missing a third of our lives, potentially, because of all the things that we're doing, in the liver. So that's the bad news. What about the good news? What can we do?
The good news is there's definitely ways to eliminate these toxins, and the ones that we do come into our bodies, it's possible to eliminate. We have many different elimination factors in our body.
What are some of your favorites? What are some ones that you talk about?
They're all my favorite because they're all very important. We can eliminate it through the skin, the lymphatic system, the kidneys, the lungs, the bowels, the blood,
hang
the liver.
on. Let's talk about some of these individually. So the skin. Well, let's talk about the lymph first. Tell us a little bit about the lymph.
Lymphatic system can be cleaned out many different ways, but particularly massage and rebounding. I love rebounding. That's one of the best ways to activate your lymphatic system. I've heard you talk about that as well.
Rebounding is awesome.
Great way.
Especially if you're starting to catch a cold. I like rebounding.
Yeah, me too.
But what is the lymph? What is the naturopath's understanding of the lymph? We talk about the lymph here on the bright side, but what is the naturopath's understanding of the lymph?
Lymphatic system is important for, I don't know. Well, lymphatic system is, basically our way of, I don't know. Good question. I'm not really sure what.
It's our detoxification, the detoxification system. The lymphatic system is kind of interesting because it detoxes as well as delivers nutrition. It has two roles. And that's kind of a problem because if your lymph is toxic, not only do you deal with toxicity, but now you deal with nutrient delivery much more. Now you have a negative effect, or you have a compromised ability to deliver nutrients, especially fatty nutrients, which are your growth nutrients, and hormones. There's big hormone problems associated with the lymph. If the lymph starts to get congested, that's where you get breast cancer. That's where you get all cancer. Most cancers actually is from a clogged up lymphatic system because number one, you're not getting the nutrients, and number two, you're not clearing out your toxicity. Toxicity starts to build up. Between toxic buildup and nutrient poor delivery of nutrition, big problems arise from the lymph. That's why the rebounding is so important. Do you actually prescribe rebounders? Do you actually prescribe rebounding, or what do you do? What do you actually see patients, right, Taylor?
Yeah.
So you actually see people like you actually work in the clinic?
Yeah, I work in 2 clinics.
And so do you prescribe? Things like rebounding and saunas and hanging upside down and all that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're like well, I think all do naturopaths in general know about those kinds of things?
And every naturopath you talk to will have a different therapeutic, interesting, depending on what they're training. There's so many different ways to heal, and it's all wonderful.
So everybody has their own favorites.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're big on nutritional supplementation too.
Absolutely.
So talk to us a little bit about how you use nutritional supplements for detoxification.
So I think it's really important to nutrify before you detoxify, because if you don't detoxify properly, it can be harmful. Because if you're pulling toxins out of your liver or wherever they're at, and you don't have a healthy digestive system or immune system, then the toxins can go to places you don't want them to go, like your brain, your heart, and it can be very detrimental. So I think it's very important to be taking your Beyond Tangy Tangerine just so your body's functioning properly, and taking your osteo and your essential fatty acids. It's very important to be taking all those, because your body needs to be working properly. There's communication involved that needs to be communicated throughout the body. And without proper nutrition, it's difficult to get those signals and those communication throughout the body.
Do you use longevity products in your practice?
Yeah, of course. Everybody that walks into my office, I have them try the Beyond Tangy Tangerine.
Tell some of the things that happen.
People love it, and not only does it taste good, but people can immediately notice that they're more clear-headed, they have good energy throughout their day. I mean, the Tangy Tangerine is so powerful that it works almost immediately for people that have deficiencies.
Hang on to that thought. We got to take a break. All right, Taylor, don't go away. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number if you want to talk to Taylor. If you have any questions, 844-236-6010. Otherwise, we're going to be talking to Taylor Mitchell about the longevity products and detoxification on Bright Side.
Have you checked your Googles?
Okay. We're back on the Bright Side. Dr. Taylor Mitchell is with us. And we do have, I wonder if Truth Raider. Hey, Taylor, you want to take a quick call?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, Truth Raider. Do we have Truth Raider? Had Truth Raider. I haven't talked to Truth Raider for a while. Truth Raider, you there, Carl? I guess not. Oh, he's just not there. Okay. All right, Taylor. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the longevity products. We talked about Beyond Tangy Tangerine before you went to break. I want to know how else you're using the longevity products, particularly the detox tea. There's a detox mega pack, no?
Yeah, there is.
So tell us about the detox mega pack and the detox tea.
So yeah, those are just products like I love the detox tea. I love the detox tea because it tastes really good, and it's really good. It has like herbs like for cleansing and digestive benefits, and it's really good for your immune system and just cleaning you out. It has things like senna leaf, cinnamon bark, ginger root, and with orange peel, peppermint, and I love all those ingredients, especially for detox. They're safe and they're effective for eliminating out your intestines and your colon and your liver.
What's your take on herbs for detoxification, and especially for detoxing the liver?
I love herbs because they really help you eliminate, and also because there's some detox capsules and stuff you can take that whenever you take them, your body eliminates, but when you stop taking them, it makes it difficult for your body to eliminate. So I love herbs because it doesn't interrupt the process of your body's natural ability to eliminate.
Did you ever make your own herbal tea? Like just go to Whole Foods and get teas and make your own herbs?
Yeah.
Make your own herbal blends?
I've done that, yeah.
Like what kind of stuff do you use?
Here's my favorite.
What's that?
My favorite is, let's find it. This one I made myself. It's slippery elm bark. I love that. Senna and thyme, clove, garlic, olive leaf, sweet wormwood extract. Those are some really good herbs for elimination.
In a tea? Wormwood's kind of wormwood is wicked nasty. I used to make this stuff called Hoxia. Do you ever hear of Essiac elixir?
Yeah.
It was that incredibly nasty stuff. I forgot what it had in it. Sheep sorrel and Syrian rue and a few other things in there. Herbs can be super, super medicinal, but they're super, super nasty tasting. Oh my goodness!
They do. Yeah, you gotta add some flavor in there for sure.
You gotta add a lot. You know why they're so nasty tasting?
Why?
Because they're so medicinal.
Yeah.
Medicine tastes nasty. People think herbs are somehow benign, or plants, I should say, and vegetables are somehow benign and gentle. That is not the case. Weeds especially. We call herbs weeds. Weeds and herbs are synonyms, basically. And weeds have a reputation for growing everywhere, for being able to, and the reason they can grow everywhere is because they are so well armed against predators. They're so well armed against stressors. And they're well armed via chemicals, and those chemicals are what we call medicines. So weeds / herbs, weeds or herbs, depending on how you look at it, tend to taste really nasty, and they're really, really powerful. We have to rethink our relationship to plants. Plants are actually intelligent. Taylor? They like talk to each other. They form alliances. Plants form alliances, and mother plants take care of their baby plants. They're doing all this research. There's a cool book called The Secret Life of Plants that talks all about how the intelligence of plants, the intelligence of trees. There's another book called The Secret Life of Trees. Trees also have incredible intelligence, and we have this idea somehow that when we're ingesting vegetation, we're ingesting plant material, that somehow it's less aggressive than eating meat. When in reality, plants have their own version of consciousness. There's a guy named Cleve Baxter. He wrote a book called, I think he might have read it. I think The Secret Life of Plants was his book. That's where he took plants and cut off their leaves, and he measured them with these EEG machines, these not EEGs, but somehow kind of electrical graphing device, and he put them on the plants. And when they cut the plants, the electrical graphing device would move. And when they went outside the room and cut another plant, the electrical device would move on the plant that didn't somehow sense through the door that the other plant was being tortured or was being ripped apart. And it even works with thoughts. When people thought something about the plants, it changed the way the plants reacted. So we have it's crazy how plants have a certain consciousness that we don't notice or we don't pay attention to. And a lot of skin problems are associated with plants. There's a lot of toxicity associated with plants, like gluten, right?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the concept of lectins?
Yeah.
We've talked about lectins a lot on this program, but lectins are proof positive that you got to be really, really careful with your plants. They have this thing now called the Impossible Burger, and there's another one called Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat and the Impossible Burger.
Stuff.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that stuff is just terrible.
Exactly. It's filled with all kinds of lectins and processing chemicals, and because veggie burgers too. Veggie burgers are not health foods. For people who think veggie burgers are health foods, they're not going to eat a hamburger, they're going to eat a veggie burger. Bad idea. And I'm not saying that hamburgers are ideal foods necessarily, but to replace hamburgers with veggie burgers or the Impossible Burger or Beyond Meat Burger, it's not necessarily a move towards health. And again, we have to rethink our relationship with plants and also with meats. The idea that meats are somehow problematic foods, and we got to reduce our meat intake. That's another nutritional notion that needs to be reexamined. Not that meat necessarily is great food, but there are wonderful nutritional elements in meat that you cannot get anywhere else, and meat nutritional value is concentrated. It's super, super concentrated. If we eat plants to get the nutrients to get what the plant has converted from the sun, meat is a concentrated version. Animals concentrate plant nutrients. So when you eat meat, you're getting concentrated plant nutrition. A lot of our food, the benefits that we get from food is literally electrical energy that has been transformed by the plants from the sun. And when you eat an animal, you're getting that electrical energy super, super concentrated, and that's why you don't need to eat as much animal food as you do plant foods. You know how they sometimes say elephants and gorillas and cows and all these big animals just eat, they're vegetarians? You ever hear people saying that? And that's proof that vegetables are good? No, it's not proof that vegetables are good, because look at how much food an elephant has to eat, and look how much food a cow has to eat. They got to eat all day long in order to get the energy that a lion gets by killing a zebra once a week or once every 10 days or something. I don't know how often a lion kills a zebra, but the point is that our relationship to meat and our relationship to vegetables have to be rethought, especially when it comes to detoxification. As far as toxicity goes, vegetables are way more toxic. Plant materials are way more toxic than meat is. But that's back to detoxification. Tell people how they can get a hold of you if they want to see you in your clinic or they want to talk to you about the longevity products.
Yeah, so they can go to, they can call my assistant. They can call BioNew. Here's the phone number. It's 303-625-9341. Call that number. Book it with me.
Do you have a website?
Anybody with any health challenge, especially detox.
Do you have a website?
Yeah, bionew.com/naturopath.
Bionew.com?
Yeah, BIONUU.com.
BIONUU.com /.
Naturopath.
/naturopath. All right, Taylor. Good to talk to you. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
All right. That's Taylor Mitchell. We talked a little bit about detoxification. And, there's a dial tone from Taylor. And we talked a little bit about detoxification. Taylor is a recent graduate from naturopathy school and a very interesting young lady who's been involved in nutritional supplementation for many, many years. That's it. That's all the time we have for today on The Bright Side. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for all the longevity products. We got blog posts and news stories up. And please check out truthtreatments.com for preservative-free, fragrance-free, emulsifier-free, water-free, silicone-free, oil-free skincare products. You shouldn't have to pay for all of those ingredients. Water, oil, silicone. Don't do anything for your skin. Fat-soluble vitamin C, high-concentration retinoic acid, plant-derived minerals, alpha-hydroxy acids. You don't need a lot of stuff on your skin, folks, and you definitely don't need a long ingredient deck on your skin. You should stay as far away from long ingredient decks, preservatives, fragrances, dyes, anything that doesn't do anything for your skin. If it's not doing something for your skin beneficial, why are you putting it on your skin? Especially if it contributes to toxicity or, as we said, the exposome. All right, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We will talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.